All right, how you doing, everybody? So far, with the macro stuff, cleaned my lens the wrong way there. We've been out with the OM1 Mark II and the Olympus 60mm lens. That's the only macro lens I've got for Olympus. We've also been out with the OM5 Mark II, which a little bit less desirable results, I guess. A couple different flashes that we use there. Today we're going to go totally budget. Got the OMD EM1 Mark II from 2016. I've got the Olympus 60mm macro lens, which isn't cheap, but it's certainly the more affordable, less expensive one than the 90mm macro lens. And then also here I've got the Godox IT32 flash, which I think I used when I used the OM5 Mark II. I actually like this flash with the X50 trigger mount. It's a wireless flash system, but also fits into the hot shoot. So you can shoot on camera, or if you want, you can yank this off. You've still got your remote here, or your trigger, and it'll still fire. You can hold it at whatever angle you want. I usually just leave it on, but it does come in handy once in a while. So let's talk about price. So on the used market, this is going to vary a lot, and I buy a lot of used camera equipment because I have that gear acquisition syndrome, and I'd be broke if I didn't buy used. But on the used market, this EM1 Mark II, I got this for around $300 in really good shape with really low shutter count, no more than $500, but say $300 for a good used body. The lens, again, about another $300. It's a $500 and some or $600 lens new, but we're not going to buy new, are we? And then this flash, anywhere from $70 to $100 with one trigger. Choose the Olympus one if you're going to use this camera. If you're going to use Canon, then choose the X5C instead of the X5O. So that plus this diffuser is about, I got it on AliExpress. It's a knockoff of the AK and Cygnus Tech style diffusers. It does a really good job. Cheaply made, but no complaints. And I think you get it for about $30 on one of those Chinese sites. You go on Amazon, it may be a little bit more, it may be 40 or 50, but it's certainly not as much as a brand name one, no matter where you go. So that being the case, what do you got? Three, about 600, say another 100 for the flash, $700, another $30 for the diffuser. You've got an entire macro photography setup for $730. Whereas, you go out and buy top of the line flagship type cameras, you're looking at over $2,000 for an OM1 Mark II, or $2,500 for an R6 Mark II or Mark III, if that's what if you're a Canon shooter. Same thing with lenses. That 90mm macro lens for Olympus is well over $1,000 itself. And these Godox flashes, if you get a big powerful flash, they can run up $200-300. So you figure instead of $3,500, you're spending less than $1,000, well less than $1,000, probably around $700 for a really good setup. And that was the point of today's videos. I have all three of those Olympus cameras, but I catch myself grabbing this EM1 Mark II because I really like shooting with it. The only thing that's missing that a lot of shooters complain about is it does not have the joystick on the back. You have to use the D-pad arrows to change your focus points or touch the screen, but it does not have a joystick that you can operate with your thumb. So that's probably the biggest drawback of this camera. Shooting, it does great. Maybe not quite as quick as one of the newer flagships as far as autofocus and stuff like that, but again, I have no complaints. So let's walk into the woods a little bit here and see what we can shoot, and just give you an idea of what this cheap budget macro setup can do. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to go too far into the woods because it rained earlier today and the mosquitoes are ferocious. I did spray some repellent on, but as you know, that doesn't always work. Let's take a look at this flower, this big wildflower right here. I can't think what it's called, but we'll do a close-up shot of it. And I'm going to kind of hold it out. I don't usually shoot this way, but I've got the DJI Nano on here so you can see what I'm doing. And you know, there's a 1-to-1 option on this lens. To get great shots, you don't even really need to go 1-to-1. You can still get really close, something like that. Let's see, let's do right in the center of that. There's like a bug or something there. So, again, gives you an idea. Here's another flower, the plant that kind of cool looking. We could do a macro shot of. And again, looking good, especially for a budget lens. Let's see if we can go find a bug or something in the woods. Again, it rained earlier, it's all muddy. Something other than an ant. Mosquitoes, I'm sure we could find a mosquito, probably on my arm here in a minute. Oh my goodness, they're all over the place. There is an ant right there that's actually pretty easy to get to. Give you an idea of what this can do if it'll hold still. I've got to get the mosquito off me though. I might have to hold up my eye because I can't see otherwise. I have such a hard time shooting. Here we go. I have such a hard time shooting using the LCD screen. That's not a mosquito. That's not an ant. Yeah, it is an ant. I thought it was a spider there for a minute, but big old brown ant on the flower. Look at this sun coming out, the wet wood. Isn't that pretty? Pardon all the noises I'm making. I got to get those mosquitoes out of my face. Here's a cool looking bug I've never seen. Oh, it took off. Let's see if I can get him. I don't know what he is. If I can find out before I put the video up, I'll put it up on the screen, but he might be some kind of mosquito. He looks frightening. I was kind of hoping maybe to catch like mosquitoes are terrible. A water drop, you know, since it rained earlier and the sun hasn't really been in here. Oh, looks like somebody maybe the wind, thunderstorm knocked a branch down in the trail here. Speaking of water droplets, the back of these leaves still have some fresh droplets on it. Get out of here, mosquito. Give you kind of a shot of that here. There's a bug of some kind. Kind of scary looking too. After you do this for a while, you kind of start getting an eye for small things. We can be walking through the woods and I'll see a spider or something, and my wife will be like, "How did you see that?" It's kind of a cool angle with the water. Oh, there's a daddy long legs. That's before he gets scared away here. A little bit closer. All right. So, I mean, you look at this, sharp as can be. Again, this isn't a cheap setup by any means. Nothing in photography is cheap, obviously. But comparatively, about $700, you can be shooting with the exact same setup as I got here, and take some pretty cool photos. I'm sure better than what I can take. So, And you can actually do it without the flash, but the flash comes in handy when you're deep in the woods there and you know, don't have a lot of sunlight. So, and it also comes in handy if you're gonna shoot something moving. The flash will freeze the action a little bit better, so it's not all blurry. You can use a lower shutter speed. Without the flash, you do have to raise your shutter speed up high to, you know, 5/800, something like that. There's a train. BNSF Railway runs right next to this forest preserve, and they run their Metra commuter trains back and forth all day long. So coming here, it's like you're not really going to get a lot of quiet, even though you're still kind of by the woods. I'll flip this around and say goodbye. Appreciate you watching. Again, hope that was helpful to you if you're looking to get into macro photography on a smaller budget than what it might normally cost. And if you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them as best I can. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next video.